Hello everybody, it is estate sale review time. Just wanted to do a little video and talk about what I found at the estate sales today. Now one thing that's kind of interesting, which I'll go into in just a little bit, is, and it's kind of a life lesson, is go to the estate sale on the first day, because if you don't, there's an opportunity that you could miss out on something big, which I kind of did today, and I'll explain that later. Anyway, we'll just kind of go over a few things. The first thing that's kind of only moderately interesting is this. This is a control box for an antenna rotor, picked up for $1 today. I don't currently have a rotor on the antenna on the roof, but you never know, someday I might. This one works with a remote control. It's got some of the cabling and so on and so forth. But for $1, that's moderately interesting. The next thing is a vintage, very, very vintage Radio Shack realistic police scanner. And it's the kind where you select what frequencies you want it to hit just by pushing the buttons here. And you remove this panel on the top and change out the crystals corresponding to which frequencies that you want it to hit. Anyway, that's probably going to go straight to eBay. I really don't have too much of an interest in collecting it, but for 50 cents, thought it was kind of an interesting novelty item. And I believe it's designed for mobile operation, so it's designed to go in a vehicle. It's got the screws here on the side for a vehicle mount. Anyway, so that's that. Get it off here. And the next item is this mid-50s CBS Columbia table radio, just an AM only radio, your typical All-American 5 tube layout. And it's kind of interesting because you don't often see CBS Columbia branded products in this area, so half price day, $7.50 on that. And the model number is a 5165, and there you can see the tube layout. Well, if the phone would focus. Well, anyway, it's your standard All-American 5 table radio. Won't take much to get that working, and so we'll get that out of here. And the next thing is, I do have a vintage road map collection. You can see here in the room, if I can get a good shot of it, are some of the maps that I have on display. So I found more maps here for 50 cents. The first thing is a AAA triptych that someone had for a trip, and there's AAA USA map, Phillips 66, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Citgo, Central Western United States, AAA Denver map. Here's AAA Central United States, Cities Service, Wisconsin, and now the good stuff. Here's a Nebraska map from 1971. This is one that I did not have, so that's very cool. And Colorado from 1972. Another one that I did not have in the collection. So, and that pile for 50 cents. And the last thing, which is the most important thing in this video, is this is a Philco 39-55 radio. So there you have it. Now, what is the big deal about this radio? Well, this radio is one of the first radios to ever have a remote control. Matter of fact, I believe it is the first remote control. And you had this box called a Philco mystery control. Now if you look on YouTube, you can see a couple of good demonstrations of a Philco mystery control. And apparently at this sale they actually had the mystery control that went along with this radio, but someone bought it just by itself and didn't buy the entire radio. So if I had been to this estate sale on the first day, I probably would have been able to get the whole entire set. So that was my life lesson learned today, is I missed out on that. Did not get the whole entire mystery control and along with the radio. But at least I got the radio. You can see the grill cloth has some issues. It'll have to be cleaned up. We'll take a closer look at the radio dial. On the left is your tone control and your on-off volume. And then you had these presets along. Now, with this particular model, I think is a lesser expensive model because you can only select the presets from the remote control. You don't have, some models had the buttons here where you could actually select the station presets from the front of the radio. So you can tell it was from the La Crosse area. They have some Chicago stations and Minneapolis stations, but we have a local right here, WKBH. So that was certainly a local radio station here in the La Crosse, Wisconsin market. There's your tuning control, manual tuning, and then this last one selects between broadcast and remote. So I would assume that with that in the down position, the mystery control would be active. The radio was $20, but today being half price day was $10. But of course, I, being the screwball that I am, did not go to this sale on the first day, so I missed out on the actual remote control. You know, they shouldn't have sold it separately, but that's what happens. Here's a look at the back of the chassis. The tubes that are over here on the right side, those are for the remote control circuitry. And what's inside the big box are some relays that are for the remote control. There you can see Philco 39-55. It is kind of dark back here. I don't know if I can move the radio around to get some better light. But there you have it. Basically, the radio section is this section that's off to the left, and then the section over here is basically to run the remote control. It's missing the field coil speaker. Not a big deal. Those are easily attainable, so I'm not worried about that. But what sucks is no mystery control, remote control. So I'm going to have to find one of those someday, somewhere. If anyone out in YouTube land knows where I can find one, send me a message or write that in the comments section. That would be cool. Anyway, so there is the Philco 39-55 radio. It's in a real good shape. The cabinet's in good shape. So needs some touch up here and there, but overall in really good condition. Shouldn't be too big of a deal to get it running someday whenever I get a chance. But anyway, that plus the CBS Columbia radio, the maps, and the old Radio Shack scanner, and the Channel Master antenna rotor control box. Those are today's estate sale finds